What's going on, guys? It's ODB of T2S, and I'm here to give you my top 10 tips on how to start playing Airsoft.
Yeah, grenades are still in the fight.
How can I talk about it?
Oh, you gotta pick 69.
Man, being a YouTuber is not easy, dude. Tip 1, rent your guns. My first tip is to rent your guns because you honestly don't even know if you like the sport. You can run out there, get shot once, and really understand that you don't want to play this game. So I would suggest for your first time, definitely want to rent your guns. Most fields usually rent out something like an M4, M16. The price range for the rentals is usually around $35 to $40. Might seem like a lot, but you have to understand you're using somebody else's AEG, so most of the time it's going to be around that price range.
That light's probably like what, $100 too?
$130.
Tip 2, Amazon is your best friend. So let's say you guys have already rented a gun and gone to a field, played a session, found out you love playing Airsoft. Amazon is going to be your best friend. On the table, what you guys can see here is gear that I used when I started. Honestly, you can get some real quality gear at some great prices. The first thing about airsoft safety is 100% gonna be eye pro. Anytime you go out to the field, you hear the refs talking about it. If you take off your mask, you're done for the day. You know, something along those lines. So what I have here is a pretty decent way to start with your eye pro. You've got your safety glasses. You can get them in any brand. They usually range about like $10, $15, something like that. And to pair up with it, you have the metal mesh to protect your mouth and your ears. You definitely don't want to catch one in any of those places, so best to protect it. So another good way to start with eye pro is a paintball mask. You can actually pick one of these up pretty cheap on Amazon. I want to say around $35. This specific model is the Valken MI7. The next thing you definitely want to look into is your chest rig. This is actually the chest rig that I started with. It's good. It's, you know, gives you great protection. You can hold your mags. You can hold pistol mags. You can even hold a pistol on it. You can get these from honestly any brand for the range of about $35, more upscale, but still starter, gonna be around like $100. This specific one I got on Amazon for 35 bucks. If you wanted something smaller than the vest, what I suggest is picking up one of these minimalistic chest rigs. It actually has some really good space. You've got patch space on the front. You've got an admin pouch. You can throw, you know, whatever you need to in there, your comms, maps, if you're playing a milsim game. You also have pistol pouches as well as M4 pouches. So you're good to go to run with a primary and a sidearm. So the chest rig that I'm holding here is the One Tigris Vulture chest rig, and you can get one of these for about $65. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to get hit in the hand. You can find good quality gloves with some decent knuckle protection for about $10 to $15. Really invest in that if you want to protect your hands. You never know when you're going to have to drop down on your knee and keep an angle, slide if you're really getting into it, but knee pads and elbow pads, definitely a great way to protect yourself while you're on the field. You can get them for about $15 to $20. And as far as legs, if you wanted to get something, you know, a little more on the military side, just to protect yourself even more so, I would suggest picking up a pair of fatigues. This one is Ido Gear. You can get this on Amazon, I want to say for about $50. It also comes with built-in knee pads, so it's a great purchase. As you guys can see here, I've gotten a lot of gear off of Amazon. Again, great prices, good quality stuff. I've used it, you know, more than just one time, and it's lasted me this long, still in great condition. I would say you're gonna spend, shouldn't be more than $200, but $200 is a pretty decent price point for everything that you see here.
All right, I'm gonna give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Tip 3, choose your first time wisely. You might be looking for a certain experience and you go to the absolutely wrong event. You don't want to do that because then you're going to think you hate Airsoft when really, I know whoever plays Airsoft is going to love Airsoft. If you're looking for a more fast-paced environment where you're getting a lot of kills, but also you're dying a lot and you're running back to spawn and then just heading straight out there, you definitely want to check out indoors and CQB fields. It's a lot of tight angles where most of the time when you're shooting somebody, they're only about 15 to 20 feet away. So So if you want something more fast-paced, bullets flying by your head all the time, I would look into indoors CQB. MilSim is military simulation. So if you're looking to be out there with a squadron, you guys have the comms, you know, different loadouts. One guy's got a sniper rifle, another guy's got an LMG, people are pushing, you know, you've got your chain of command. If you were looking for all that kind of stuff, MilSim is definitely the way to go. Tip 4, listen to the reps.
Obviously the field is adjacent, it is mirrored, right?
At the start of every match or at the start of every session, the refs always go very in depth on the rules and the safety that you need to uphold within the field. So make sure you listen so that you can play Airsoft the right way. Tip number 5, expect to get hit. You're not gonna play Airsoft and never get hit. It's going to happen eventually, and what you should do when you get hit is call your hits.
Hit!
Airsoft is an honor system, and every time you play, anytime you get hit by a BB, you need to raise your hand and let everybody on the field know that you were hit. There are 100 videos on YouTube about people not calling their hits. Do you really want to be one of those people? No. Call your hits. Call your hits. Tip number 6, communicate with your teammates.
Let me know if you're laying it down, I'll go.
It's very important to communicate with your teammates on the field. Whether you guys are rushing forward or even taking an angle, it's always good to communicate with your teammates to make sure you guys are on the same page and you avoid friendly fire.
Go, 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 long angle, right side, right side.
So a good example of communicating with your team is, crossing when somebody's clearly shooting. You don't want to just walk in front of somebody's gun. You want to let them know, like, hey, crossing, and give them a little warning. You never want to walk in front of a pointed barrel.
Crossing, crossing, dead man.
Another good way to communicate to your teammates is letting them know that you're moving up.
I'm gonna push up.
It's a little different than crossing because what you're doing is taking another position. And if you and another teammate are rushing forward, you don't want to take the same angle. What you want to do is high and low. High and low is when you and a teammate are taking an angle and one person is on the top angle and the other usually drops a knee and points in the same direction. Now what you guys want to do is scan the field for information to make sure you guys can move forward safely. Tip number 7, take cover. You want to shoot behind a piece of cover to avoid getting hit. And if you're moving cover to cover, it's a smart way to push forward on the enemy team. Tip number 8, choose your shots wisely. There's a lot of people that go into Airsoft and immediately are trigger happy. You don't want to do this for a couple of reasons. One reason being is that you don't want to give away your position because you wanted to shoot at nothing. Try to shoot in 2 to 3 round bursts. You only have to hit somebody one time in order to get them out. I would consider myself a speed softer, and I'm the one telling you not to overshoot. I don't overshoot, bro. The other clips of speed softers, bro, they right behind you. There's nothing behind you to cover you, bro. They're shooting you right in your back. They're killing people, bro. Don't overshoot, please. Tip number 9, never want to blind fire. Blind firing is when you're sitting behind cover and you're sticking your gun out without looking where you're shooting and you're just letting off rounds. You should never do that on an airsoft field. That's almost one of the #1 rules you cannot break. If you start blind firing, you do not even know what you're shooting at, and you could really, really hurt somebody. Remember, never, ever blind.
Yo, bro, that was you on that left side? Good battles, yo. Good battles, man.
Tip number 10, remember to have fun. As soon as you hear the BBs flying, get your heart pumping, get your adrenaline up, and it's just a great time. Try not to take it so seriously. Be nice to the new guys. It's hard enough to get into Airsoft. And I think just remembering that it's a game and remembering to always just, build the community in a positive way. That's how everyone's gonna have a good time out there on the field.
Yeah, you got it.
So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Joe, Tito, and Benji up at Area 53. I pulled up over there and honestly, I had a great time. Good games, good session. It was awesome. If you guys are looking for a place to play Airsoft, on Tuesdays, I'm usually over at Area 53 up in Brooklyn. And on Saturdays, I usually catch a later session at Strike Force Sports up in Long Island. If you guys want to see me there, feel free. We could talk guns, gear, and airsoft. I'm ODB of T2S, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.